Hey guys, this is Abhishek from GadgetsToUse.com, and today we are going to do the quick hands-on comparison of these three phones which we have with us. We have Samsung Galaxy J5 with us, we have Motorola Moto G 3rd generation, and we have Xiaomi Mi4i. And out of all these three, this one is the oldest, and then we have these two which are kind of relatively new. When it comes to the price point, they are kind of close to each other. They are not available at the same price point, and this one actually have two variants, whereas these two phones have only one single variant available to be bought. So let's talk about the specification. First of all, we have Snapdragon 410 over there, we have Snapdragon 410 on the Motorola Moto G3, and we have Snapdragon 615 on Xiaomi Mi4i. So in terms of hardware, this one is higher and it can also give you better gaming performance, but this one does heat up. And after the review which I have done, they have also pushed several updates on this phone, and after that the heating has been controlled, but the performance has been throttled to a great level. So let's talk about these three phones, especially on the basis of build quality. First of all, talking about the build quality, we can see that all these three phones are actually good. They are made up of plastic, they look nice in terms of the overall finishing, and the quality of material is also nice. We have the Samsung Galaxy J5 which has got matte finish back cover, which will give you a very nice grip when you hold this phone in hand. But again, the overall feel of this phone is not that great because the back cover is flat and it is slightly rounded, which again is good but not too great when it comes to the overall feel which you have in hand. The edges are again rounded, which is going to give you a decent feel. But when we talk about the Motorola Moto G3 3rd generation, it has got a matte finish back cover which has also got a texture, so it will give you a very nice grip and a better feel when you hold this phone in hand. It has curved edges over there as well, and the complete back cover is curved, so you will have a very good grip when you hold this one in hand, and a very nice feel is also going to be there. When we talk about the Xiaomi Mi4i, it has got a flat back panel. The edges are not very sharp, they are kind of rounded, which will again give you a very good feel. But in terms of thickness, the Motorola 3rd generation Moto G is going to be the thickest phone out of all these three, and we have Samsung Galaxy J5 on the second position, which is also slightly thicker but not that thick as we see on Moto G3, and the thinnest out of all these is going to be the Xiaomi Mi4i. As you can see, this is going to be the slimmest phone compared to these two which we have in hand. On weight department, when it comes to the Xiaomi Mi4i, it is 130 gram. When we take a look over the weight of Samsung Galaxy J5, it is 146 gram, which is slightly heavier. And if we talk about the weight of Motorola Moto G3, it is 153 grams. So this one is the heaviest out of all. This is going to be on the second position in terms of weight. And when we talk about Xiaomi Mi4i, it is the slimmest and the lightest phone compared to these two. We have Antutu running over there, and we have hardware information loaded on all of these. When it comes to the version of Android which you will get Android 5.1.1 on this one, we have Android 5.1.1 on this one, and we have Android 5.0.2 on the Xiaomi Mi4i. When we talk about the processor, we have Snapdragon 410 quad-core CPU, we have Snapdragon 410 over there as well. So these two devices are running on Snapdragon 410 as compared to the Xiaomi Mi4i, which is Snapdragon 615. If we talk about the RAM, we have 1.5 GB of RAM on Samsung Galaxy J5, and we have 2 GB of RAM on Motorola Moto G3 or Moto G 3rd generation, but this one is the 16 GB variant. On the 8 GB variant, you will get 1 GB of RAM, which will come for 12,000 rupees, but for 13,000 rupees, you can get 2 GB of RAM on this phone. And we talk about Xiaomi Mi4i, we will have 2 GB of RAM coupled with a better GPU. So you have better GPU over there compared to these two, and that is why you will still get better gaming performance on the Xiaomi Mi4i compared to these two. And this is something which we have already tested with this high definition game Asphalt 8 running on all of these three. Now the camera performance in comparison of these three phones, we have a 13 megapixel camera at the back on this one, we have 13 megapixel camera on Moto G 3rd generation, and we have a 13 megapixel camera on Samsung Galaxy J5 as well. Let's take a photo of these action figures over there, and we will find out the quality of the photo which you get from these three devices as far as rear camera is concerned. We are going to take this photo right now, and let me just have it like this and take a photo. And we do have artificial light right now for this one, so you will get an idea about how does these devices take the photo, especially in artificial light scenario. And let me take a photo over there. Let me take this photo with the Samsung Galaxy J5 as well. Now here we have the photo loaded which we have taken from the rear camera on these three phones. Talking about the quality, we can see the quality of the Xiaomi Mi4i first of all. And as you can see, this is how the photo look like. In terms of clarity, it is good. In terms of details, it is good as well. Very good amount of details I can see in this photo, and colors are also nicely produced. They are slightly oversaturated compared to the original subject over there, which you can easily notice once you have it in the front and you can compare it right now. Talking about the photo clarity, you can expect from the Moto G3. This is how it looks like, and this one is also good in terms of details. Good amount of details have been captured in this photo, and as far as colors are concerned, the colors are slightly better if they are not the same on this photo. And if we take a look over the photo which we have got on the Samsung Galaxy J5, let's take a look over the clarity of this one first of all. And in terms of clarity, it is good but not great. And in terms of colors, it is nicely produced. I would say this one is the closest in terms of color production. I would say the color production is done nicely, and the camera is performing good on all of these three phones. So camera is good enough on these three phones. Here we have the photo which we have taken from the front camera on these three phones, and as you can see, the front camera clarity is also good on all of these. If we talk about the clarity which we have got on the Moto G3, it is good. And if we take a look over the photo which we have got on Xiaomi Mi4i, it is also good. And if we talk about the front camera on Samsung Galaxy J5, this is also nice. So front camera and rear cameras are good enough on all of these three phones. There is slight difference in terms of colors, and there might be slight difference in terms of details. The only thing which you need to take care is that you need to hold the device stable in the case of Moto G3, because this one has a camera UI which is not very much enhanced. So you have to be stable when you take the photos, otherwise they will look blur. When we talk about Xiaomi Mi4i, it has a very enhanced and useful camera UI. HDR mode is supported on all of them. And if we talk about the Samsung Galaxy J5, this one has also got a very good camera UI in which you get a lot of options. So these two devices are going to give you better camera user interface, which is easy to use, and it has a lot of options on both of them as compared to a basic kind of camera interface which we have on Motorola Moto G3. Comparing these three devices on the basis of display, we have got 720p high definition resolution on Samsung Galaxy J5. We have got 720p high definition resolution on Moto G third generation, but we have got full high definition resolution on the Xiaomi Mi4i. This one gives you full high definition resolution, which will give you higher pixel density because the display size remains same on all of these three phones, which is 5-inch. You will have higher pixel density on Xiaomi Mi4i, which is slightly crisp display compared to these two, but with naked eyes in day-to-day usage, you won't see that much of a difference. But especially when it comes to playing high definition videos. Let's do a quick sensor comparison. We have got accelerometer sensor, proximity sensor, and orientation sensor, which is only 3 sensors on Samsung Galaxy J5. We have got a hell lot of sensors on Xiaomi Mi4i, which includes accelerometer sensor. We have also got magnetic field sensor. We have got more sensors which include step counter, and we have also got ambient light and proximity sensor as well. And over here on the Motorola Moto G3, we have got 3-axis accelerometer sensor, magnetic field sensor, orientation, proximity, flat up, flap down, and camera activation sensor as well. So you have good number of sensors on these two phones. This is the most equipped device in terms of the sensors. It has almost all the sensors you would need, and even more than the sensors which you would need. And you have sufficient number of sensors on the Moto G3 as well, but there are some sensors missing which are very useful in day-to-day usage on Samsung Galaxy J5 in comparison to these two phones. We have already compared these three phones on different departments. Let's find out the good features in comparison on each of these one by one separately. We will talk about the Moto G3 for the first, and the Moto G3 has got IPX7 certification, which makes this phone water resistant. That means you can actually dip this phone inside water and it will still keep on working. The same will not happen on these two. And one more thing which is good on the Moto G3 is the UI, which is very much close to stock Android. You will get a stock Android UI on this device, which will make things very responsive and easy to use in day-to-day usage. So the user interface is going to be much more responsive on the Motorola Moto G3 compared to these two. Talk about the Xiaomi Mi4i, which has got a full high definition display, which is not there on these two phones, which is a unique thing which we have on this one. Another thing which is good is that this phone has got Snapdragon 615, which is definitely going to give you better gaming performance. So this will definitely be a better device, especially for gamers. Although this device does have heating problems, but they are kind of sorted out because the device has got an update, which is a software update, after which the device does not heat up that much, but the overall performance has been throttled. But still, this device is going to be a better bet for any gamer or any heavy user compared to these two phones. Let's talk about the Samsung Galaxy J5, which is also a good phone. This one gives you 1.5 GB of RAM for the low price compared to these two, which is definitely a good thing. Apart from that, if we talk about the UI is good, smooth and responsive, but over time it will get laggy, and it has touch-based UI, which will come a lot of bloatware compared to these two. Overall, all these three phones are good value for money. Depending on what your requirement is, you can actually select out of these three. In case you want a waterproof phone, you can go for the Moto G3. In case you want better display and high definition display, full high definition display, you can actually go for the Xiaomi Mi4i. In case you want more RAM for the price, you can go for this one, which will give you 1.5 GB of RAM for 11,000 rupees compared to these two, which will have 2 GB of RAM model for 12 to 13,000 rupees, which is slightly high. So again, this is all we have as far as the overall comparison of these three is concerned. In case you have any questions and queries, you can leave your questions and queries in the comment section below. You can like this video if this video helped you by clicking the like button below. You can subscribe to our YouTube video channel for more videos like this by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you.